Hello, well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to CodingScientist.com. You are watching Hero to Superhero series, building an artificial neural network from scratch. Alright, guys. So let's see where have we reached so far. Wow, interesting. Looks like we have done quite a lot of work. So we started with initializing the network in our lesson number 2, the neural network we initiated, and then we moved on to neuron activation, and you understand the user defined function which we created to activate the neurons. And then we did the neuron transfer, which is just two lines of code, which is pretty clear by adjusting the weights. And then I talked about forward propagation. And now in this lesson we are going to put all these bits and pieces like initializing the network and neuron activation and then the neuron transfer and forward propagation. Probably we can eliminate this, and then now we are going to test what happens now. Boom. So I am also going to import a library called the math library. From math, import exp is another function built in within the math library. We are basically adding the same code which I talked about. So we are calculating the neuron activation for an input, and then transferring the neuron activation, and then forward propagating input to a neural network as an output. And then this is the code for testing the forward propagation. So basically you can just go ahead and take it up from my GitHub. I don't have to explain this line by line. It's pretty much self-explanatory for those of you from machine learning and deep learning industry. So you should be able to understand this pretty quick. It's pretty straightforward. So anyways, so basically, we are actually putting all these pieces together and test our forward propagation into the network, into the neural network, right? So we are basically defining our network in line with one hidden neuron that expects two input values and an output layer with two neurons. So let's run this code and see what happens. So ideally, let me run this code, and there you go. Boom. If you could see on the terminal, we are able to get two different outputs here, which is cool and without any error. That's the most important thing. So I don't see any errors. So guys, go ahead and put all these pieces together, try to run this code and see how it looks. In the meantime, I am going to get back to you in the next lesson. We are going to compile more things and build our the data which we downloaded from weeds. Basically, I picked up from Kaggle, and from Kaggle I put it into my GitHub. You can take up from my GitHub, which is pretty easy to understand. And then we are going to run through the algorithm and see how the neural network works. It's going to be interesting. I will see you soon. Goodbye.